Hi, I'm Adriana, and you're watching the Spiritual Awakening with Adriana channel. Today, I would like to talk about one concept the concept that there are just two basic emotions, love and fear. And although I talked about this concept a little bit in some of my previous videos, I think that this concept really deserves a specific video. Um, uh, Getting to this deeper level of understanding how love and fear can be just two basic emotions, and learning how to cope with fear in everything that you do, and bringing it back to love can really help you fulfill your purpose in life, can really help you get to the deeper level of understanding of who you are as a being, and how you can live a more happy and more fulfilled life. So, when we start talking about love and fear, we can see how those two emotions are definitely very powerful. One is based in our need to give, our need to accept, our need to love, our need to be one with everything, our need to be the being that transcends the bad times and can really help us get to the higher level of consciousness, and that is all love. And the other emotion, fear, is basically, on one hand, it is also biologically driven, because fear has a very important ally in our brain, in our dinosaur brain, that has served us so well during the evolution and during all those times when we were almost always in a constant threat by other animals, by other humans, by natural disasters. Fear is something that is very powerful and can really help you if you are, for instance, under the falling rock and you really need to be very fast. Fear will drive your amygdala, the part of the brain that serves to prevent this kind of disasters to us, is very powerful. But if you inject fear into your everyday life, and if you live your life driven by fear, then you are basically the being that is not living the life that you are supposed to be living. One example, jealousy. Jealousy is a feeling that you get when you love somebody, and then at the same time you are possessive about that person. You want to know where this person has been. You are feeling heart palpitations when you see that person talking to another member of the opposite or the same sex. And jealousy is not love. It is basically driven by fear. It is driven by your fear that you are not enough. It is almost always deeply engraved and deeply motivated by your own inadequacies. So if you're feeling jealous, you are basically just fueling emotions by your fear of losing somebody, of being alone, your fear of not being enough for somebody. And on the other end of the spectrum is something that people that have some experience with non-monogamous relationship, people that have at least been researching a little bit and know the theory, there is something called compersion. Compersion is just the opposite of jealousy. It is the feeling of being happy when you see your loved one happy with somebody else. And I'm not saying that it is possible for all of us in all of the circumstances in life to be driven by love. It is certainly very challenging, even if you have this understanding, then there is still this little part in your brain that wants to mess things up for you, because our brain is people usually think that our brain is something that is very Swiss clock like, that our brain is something that is very powerful. In fact, it is not. Our brain is a massive, squishy little thing that is full of fears. It has been here for a very long time and it has evolved for sure. But our brain is not really an organ that can support in all circumstances us being this higher being that we want to be. So basically, to come back to love and fear, it is very important to be able to get to the level of understanding of who you are and what your purpose in life is. It is a very good tool to be able to distinguish between love and fear. So if you have on one end love and on one end fear, whenever you're driving away from the love, you have to find a way to be aware of that. A very good tool for that is meditation, definitely. Because when you're meditating, it is the goal of the meditation is not to have an empty head. If you have an empty head, then you're just a cupboard. And the goal of meditation is to get to the state in which you understand that all that there is, all that you can ever experience, all that will ever remain, all that can ever really fuel you as a being will be love. You do not get there in 1 minute. Meditation is not something that can be done like, okay, now I will just sit here, I will just breathe, and then in a minute I will be in a complete bliss. No, you will not. Trust me. You need to meditate in order to calm yourself down. You need to meditate in order to be able to recognize the bad thoughts when they arrive, and they will arrive, and that's a normal part of meditation. Whoever thinks that meditation is something that should be all roses and all beautiful, it's not. And sometimes you will be meditating and you will not even be getting to that state of bliss. That can happen during the meditation. Maybe it will take you many times in order to get to this level of meditation where you will be able to say, okay, now I get what people are talking about. Meditation is a very good tool, definitely. And introspection is also very important. And I'm talking about introspection in a sense that allows you to really think about what your feelings are. I've been reading recently a very good book. It's called Life is Hard, Food is Easy. I have struggled with my weight and lost most probably tons and tons of weight in my life and gained it back. So I really have this issue, and this book, I love that book because it gives you some of the tools that are necessary in order to understand what's going on in your life, because you will not be eating, you will not be living, you will not be singing, you will not be working without some emotions. Whatever you're doing in life, life is hard, food is easy. Life is hard in the sense that it's not easy. It's not something that you can just you cannot just be born and then just have everything figured out. You really need to work in order to be able to say that finally you have come to the place in your life where you feel like you really understand yourself. And introspection in that sense for me would be the ability to say, I know myself, I know why I'm doing this. And even if you're doing things that are not to your liking, even if you're doing things that do not make you feel good, you should understand why you're doing those things. I figured out that lots of people going through the process of spiritual awakening will find themselves in a place where they will want to be of an introvert than they used to be. It does not mean that over the night you will turn from extrovert to introvert, but for sure, if you are looking for introspection, good tools would be books, reading a lot, just observing the world around you, just letting the events give you the answers that you're looking for. And one of the tools that I found useful in recognizing when I am on that scale from love to fear was definitely listening to other people. I'm not saying that other people have the answers for you. Most probably they do not, because we are all in a constant flux. We are all burdened by our egos on one hand, and we are all here to fulfill some purpose of which most of us have no idea what it is. So important thing is definitely to listen to other people, to listen what they have to say, and to understand why they're saying that. For instance, you might think that you're not a jealous person, but if your loved one tells you all the time, you are so jealous of me, why are you so jealous of me, why are you not giving me time to space to breathe, and why are you making me feel so constricted, that person might on one hand be acting from a complete fear. So that person might be acting out of complete fear and trying to make you feel guilty. But that person also might be talking from love and might be unveiling some of your jealousy issues that you were not even aware of. Because on one hand, introspection is very important. It's very important that you understand yourself. But on the other hand, it is also important that you are able to get to the place where you can listen to other people and get what they're saying. And if they're saying some things in order to promote their own agenda, that's also very valuable information for you, because it will allow you to either completely distance yourself from that person or get back to the meditation, introspection, and understand why they are doing that. So meditation, introspection, and listening. Just listening, not talking, just listening. These are three very important tools for you to be able to position yourself on the love and fear universe, and to try to get yourself a little bit closer to the understanding where love is in your life. And one important thing, which is not basically a tool, it is something that you have to cultivate in yourself. It is like a plant that you have to water every day in order to help it grow. You also have to work on your gratitude. Gratitude is definitely something that can help you make love grow stronger in any regard. Because, we are basically human beings. We have this ego, we have this flesh, we have those bones, we have this world that we have been living in for our entire lives, and we think that we are just this thing that we see, this thing that we hear, this thing that we cherish every day. We brush our teeth, we bathe ourselves. But gratitude, it is the ability to be happy with the little, with the small. And this ability to be happy with the small can really help you to be able to love because of the love's sake. For instance, you have a person in your life that you have to put up with because it's your, I don't know, parent, it's your brother, sister, it's somebody that you have known your entire life, and you feel obligated to love them. And you seldom think, okay, I would so much like this person to be different. But what you need to do in order to be happy with that person and to build a better relationship, you have to be able to cultivate love in a way that you are grateful for little things. So if somebody has many annoying habits, like for instance your office co-worker, you sit with him in the same room and he's constantly chewing and doing stuff that annoy you should try to move away from the fear, from noticing those bad things, and move to the love, to really think about what that person does for you. For instance, maybe this coworker is greeting you very friendly every day and makes you feel great when you see them. Maybe this coworker in fact has a very bad situation at home, and maybe this place where you work with him or her is the only place where he or she feels happy. You should be grateful for little things. You should always look for something that is good about the situation, about if you have very bad financial situation, if you have you're not happy with your weight, you're not happy with I don't know, with your looks, you're not happy with your hair, you should think about things that make you happy and not concentrate on those things that do not make you happy. Visualize your better future and be grateful for what you have now, because what you have now is just a beginning of something that will be even greater. The great song by Disney from the Jungle Book, The Bare Necessities, I love it. It really tells a tale about how when you are happy with the bare necessities in life, and the bare necessity can also be defined in very different ways. But if you're happy with what you have and you're looking forward to what you want, then you can really be a happy person. And in the end, the further you can move away from fear, the happier you will be. If you grow fear, if you grow uncertainty, if you grow frustration, if you grow anxiety, if you grow jealousy in your heart, you cannot be happy. You can think that you're happy. You can think that that's it, but it's not. Trust me. Loving and being patient, being kind, being a person that can understand other people is what can make you happy. So, love and fear, I could talk about that most probably until tomorrow. I will not. I know that YouTube has this algorithm where they like the longer videos, but I don't want to be bothering you too long. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon again. Thank you so much. Bye.